Are you interested in getting started in a new career in tech and you're not sure what's the best way to go about doing it? Well, stick around because in this video, I'm going to share with you my thoughts on whether or not a boot camp or going back to college is the right direction for you. Hey everybody, it's Brian from A Life After Layoff, and today I want to talk about getting started in a career in tech, what the most effective strategy is. Now, one of the most common questions I get in my career coaching sessions with people who are entry level or are trying to make a career shift is if they're going into the tech space, they're asking, should I sign up for the boot camp or go back and get a technical degree? And I want to share my perspective with you, having been a technical recruiter myself, and more importantly, what hiring managers and as a broader extension of that, companies feel about those two things. But before I get into that, if you're interested in learning how to reclaim control and start to act like the CEO of your career, make sure you sign up for my free newsletter. And in it, I share concise, actionable tips on things like how to write resumes, how to approach LinkedIn networking, and how to level up your interviewing skills. So if you're in an active job search or you care about your career, make sure you sign up for it. Keep in mind, it's absolutely free. And I'd also like to thank today's sponsor, Course Careers, more on them in a little bit. So in my career, I've had 3 different stints, which equates to about 10 years of experience focusing on a lot of technical based roles. And all 3 of them had basically the same position. Experience is always going to trump credential. And I don't think I've met a hiring manager to date that has preferred book smarts or a piece of paper that says that you know how to do something over somebody that can actually demonstrate it. And for example, when I was working at Amazon, the technical competency that we were looking for was very specific. Primarily, I was supporting hiring managers that were looking for mobile software developers, mostly full stack. You had to keep in mind that the code that you were writing for these apps would potentially be loaded onto several million devices that would all interconnect. And if you broke something, you could break an entire system. So it was a pretty big deal. And we had a reputation, probably rightfully so, of being a very difficult place to get a job, in particular, getting past the technical assessment. So basically, we would source these people. In some cases, they were very credentialed. They would have multiple degrees. They would have years and years of experience. But inevitably, when it came time to the technical assessment, it could be very humbling because you either know your stuff or you don't. Because people who winged it and developed bad habits over time would generally not do well in the technical assessments. And it was all above the board. It was going into places like LeetCode and HackerRank and demonstrating a textbook level of competency for whatever technical stack that you were interviewing for. And we would always make sure to tell people, especially those who were really experienced and had worked in industry for a long period of time, to take their time with the assessment and go back and brush up on the basics. And I don't know if it's ego or whatever the case is, they'd always say, I'm good, I know how to do this. And the fact is that these technical assessments were either you know it or you don't, and they don't care that you kind of brute force your way to a solution. They will rate you based on how academically accurate your solution is. And that can be very humbling for some people. So what we were finding is that a lot of people who were highly credentialed were not doing well in the assessment. And it got to the point where it was actually problematic. We couldn't hire people because we couldn't find people who could pass these technical assessments. And I can't speak for all technical teams at Amazon, but the ones that I supported did not have a college degree as being a requirement. And furthermore, they didn't have a boot camp as being a requirement. Now, I'll say I worked on an advanced team where there was L5, L6, and L7 roles, so there was no entry level, but the experience was the main thing. Did you have enough experience to meet that bar for that level? And more importantly, could you pass the technical assessments? And then, of course, you had to go through the Amazon interview with the leadership principles and all that stuff. But you wouldn't even get to that point if you couldn't pass the technical assessment. And furthermore, I worked for a high growth technical startup, and it was the same exact thing. They didn't care whether or not you had a college degree or you went to a boot camp or any of that stuff. They only cared about, could you write good, clean code? So those were not bars to get into those companies. Now, I will say that there are certain companies out there who do require college degrees, so I'm not knocking the college degree at all. But I am saying that there are opportunities in industry for very well-paying positions where college degrees and boot camps and those types of things are not a requirement. It's the technical assessment and the technical competency that is looked at most closely. So the question of should I do a boot camp is a very valid one, and here's what I'll say to it. If you can find a reputable boot camp, and I stress reputable because there are a lot of low quality boot camps out there who are only interested in taking your money and they don't prepare you correctly and they don't live up to their promises. But If you can find a reputable boot camp around you and you go through an intensive course, it could be a faster way for you to get from point A to point B, from having no knowledge in a technical field to being at least very comfortable and familiar with the technical concepts in a relatively short amount of time. And I say relatively because some of these boot camps are, 6 months, some of them are a year. So it's still a pretty big commitment. And not to mention, it's a big commitment financially. I've seen a lot of boot camps averaging around 10 to 15,000, but I've seen them go as high as 30,000 for the boot camp. And again, when you graduate from the boot camp, that piece of paper that you get from the boot camp is not automatically going to qualify you for a job. It's your technical competency. And so if you're somebody that works best in a structured environment where you've got day in, day out, you're treating it like a full-time job. You're going in at 8 in the morning and you're staying till 5 and you're living and breathing coding for 6 months, 8 months, a year, then maybe that boot camp is the best bet for you. But keep in mind, there's no guarantee of a job at the end of it, as much as these companies will like to promise it. Of course, experience is going to play a factor in it for more advanced roles. But for those entry level or people who are trying to switch into a new career type, you have to focus on the technical competency first and foremost. And the same thing goes for college degrees. And of course, there's even a bigger time commitment and it's a much more expensive venture. But the fact is at the end of the day, it all boils down to technical competency. If you're somebody that already has a degree and you're looking to switch into a new career type in tech, then I probably wouldn't recommend going back and getting a technical degree. In that case, I'd either go the boot camp route or I would go self-taught. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But if you're somebody that doesn't have a degree at all, you have to weigh the pros and the cons and decide really what you want out of your career. The main reason being is that if you want to stay in a technical career path, then the college degree may not be all that important to you. However, if you're looking to progress beyond the technical and move into more of a leadership position, then the college degree is certainly going to open up a lot more doors for you. And there are some companies that will have a barrier to entry. They just require college degrees no matter what job it is, even the front desk in some cases. And an increasingly more popular route of rebranding yourself or getting started in a career in tech is to be self-taught. There's lots more free resources out there nowadays than there ever have been before. And you can practically find anything you need following YouTube videos or maybe finding a really dedicated blogger. Of course, you got to be super disciplined. You got to go find those resources, the ones that you trust. Hopefully they're accurate and they're giving you good textbook level technical competency. You got to practice it. You don't have somebody breathing down your neck. You don't have a looming test or project that you've got to turn in. You got to make sure that you're self-starter in that regard. But the nice thing is that it's mostly free, or at the very least, a lot less expensive than the boot camp or certainly the college degree. Or another viable option is you can use something like Course Careers, where they have a free option. You can go in and kind of play around with it, see if you even like the content, the career type that you're trying to pursue. And if you decide that you like the career type that you've chosen, you can opt for their more intensive course. I think it's as little as 4 weeks and maybe as long as 8 weeks, depending on your learning style and how much you like to practice. It's all self-paced. It's certainly a much more condensed time frame and a lot faster than the boot camps as well. So I think if it was me and I was trying to decide on the best route to go, I would put the college degree on the back burner for now, and I would probably do the same thing with the boot camp. Then I would dabble with the self-taught or the Course Careers to even see if I like it. And, go through their course and see if you can pass the technical assessment on LeetCode or on HackerRank and decide if you need more help. And then if you really want to get more intensive, then go and sign up for a boot camp or the longer route of going back to college and getting a 4-year degree. But at least you have the ability to dabble with it first and see what your technical competency is, and more importantly, what your interest level is. Because you can find out, you go through a boot camp or you go through a 4-year degree and you might not even like the type of work that you're doing, and then that's just a waste of time and certainly a huge waste of resources. So if you're interested in trying Course Careers, they've graciously offered a $50 off coupon that you can get started and try it. I'll leave it in the comments below and you can check that out. So hopefully you found this video to be helpful. And if you're somebody that has aced your technical portion, you've got the LeetCode down, you can go through HackerRank, no problem, but now you need to get hired. That's something that I specialize in. I've got a website called alifeafterlayoff.com, which is loaded with tips and tricks, all from an insider's perspective. And I teach you how to get noticed by these recruiters, because it doesn't matter how much technical experience you have. If nobody knows who you are, then it's not going to do you any good. And the first tool you're going to use is your resume. And I've created a course called Resume Rocket Fuel, which is designed to teach you exactly how to write a resume that's going to get those recruiters at places like Amazon to take notice and hopefully give you that first round interview. And once you get your foot in the door, it's then up to you to market yourself throughout each round of the interviewing process, all the way from job application to job offer. And that's where the ultimate Job Seeker Bootcamp comes in. It breaks down each step in very detailed format, gives you tips, techniques, and strategies on how to ace each round, and then ultimately how to negotiate the best possible terms for yourself, because trust me, you're probably leaving money on the table. But if you want to skip the recruiter altogether, and that's the preferable method, if you have a really targeted resume and you add in really targeted networking, it's like gold for your job search. And that's where the Unlocking LinkedIn course comes in, because I teach you exactly how to attract recruiters to your profile, and more importantly, how to skip the recruiter altogether. So if you're interested in learning how to unlock the power of LinkedIn for your job search, which you really should be doing, check out Unlocking LinkedIn. Anyway, hopefully you found this video to be enlightening. Happy job hunting, and we will see you on the next one.